European Union countries are still importing Russian energy on the down low. Are they still sticking it to Russian President Vladimir Putin like they're leading their own people to believe they're doing? European leaders haven't stopped telling their citizens that the stratospheric energy prices and inflation are all sacrifices being made for Ukraine, which is purportedly fighting for European values. But apparently one of those European values is to betray the very same principles that you're loudly claiming to defend. It turns out that the Nikkei group has been tracking oil tankers off the coast of Europe since the beginning of the Ukraine conflict, and what they found will no doubt come as a shock to those who think that if Europeans are suffering under crushing bills, it's only because of an uncompromising refusal to touch any of that dirty Russian fossil fuel.
A Nikkei analysis found that in the 6 months since Russia's invasion of Ukraine began, 41 vessels made ship-to-ship transfers of oil off the coast of Greece with tankers that left Russia and later arrived at European ports. There was only one such vessel last year. The survey highlighted the crucial role that waters near Greece play as a hub for oil shipments between Russia and Europe.
What are all those ships doing unloading all that filthy authoritarianism onto Europe's morally pristine shores when the bloc's leaders haven't stopped talking about how much it disgusts them?
There is another point on which there is no doubt. We will end Germany and Europe's dependence on energy imports from Russia.
Member states are working on getting rid of the Russian oil by active procedures. And our goal is to get completely rid of the Russian fossil fuels for good.
Therefore, I say here clearly and unequivocally, yes, Germany is also completely phasing out Russian energy imports.
Ministers agreed that we will cut our gas consumption because only by doing so, just lowering our demand, we can have a positive impact to the gas price that we will have this heating season.
We're coming together to reduce Europe's dependence on Russian energy.
Maybe Russian energy undergoes moral purification when it transfers from one ship to another before reaching EU shores, just as Nikkei claims to have witnessed on August 24th when an Indian-registered ship that had left from Turkey received an oil transfer from a Greek flagship that had traveled from an oil terminal in northwestern Russia. Meanwhile, China's sales of liquefied natural gas to Europe have also risen, according to Western mainstream media reports, while Chinese LNG imports from Russia have skyrocketed this year. Is Brussels making sure that the Chinese LNG that it's importing isn't contaminated with all that extra Russian supply? Or are they going to continue with this ridiculous charade of virtue signaling while pretending that Europeans have no choice but to suffer in the name of values that they're already discreetly violating? As far back as 2019, Washington was already branding its gas as synonymous with freedom and democracy.
Increasing export capacity from the Freeport LNG project is critical to spreading freedom gas throughout the world by giving America's allies a diverse and affordable source of clean energy.
Freedom isn't free, though, pal. In fact, U.S. freedom energy is far more expensive than Russian authoritarian energy, about 40% more to be exact, which is why it makes sense that the EU would rather just keep finding ways to stuff its coffers with as much of the cheaper but, of course, immoral energy that it can get its hands on while it still can. That is, before it lowers the boom on itself with even more self-imposed embargoes, all while publicly pretending that if its people are suffering, it's because the EU couldn't dare to bring itself to violate its own stated principles by turning its supply tap of cheap Russian gas back on.